Hi, I'm Suzy Rhoades with PassMasters. Welcome to this week's Questions of the Week. In this week's video, I will be going over questions you can expect to find on the Series 6 or Series 7 exam. We will be doing a Section 1 exam. Let's check out our learning management system. When can an investment company claim that they are the best performer in a category? When they have been ranked number one by a ranking entity at some point during the past 10 years. When a ranking entity has ranked them first in that category, whenever they would like, or whenever their performance has been more than 10% in a year. So those last two choices you can definitely get rid of. So it's a matter of choosing between A and B. The best choice between A and B would be when a ranking entity has ranked them first in that category. So you choose what you believe is the correct answer. You click check answer. You know you got it right because you get that green check mark. You can click show explanation. And you can read the rationale. You can also click when can an investment company and listen. So all of our questions have audio explanations for them. So FINRA says as long as an investment company has been ranked number one in a specific category, then they are allowed to use that in their advertisements so long as FINRA rules are followed. FINRA requires the following disclosures: the name of the category, the name of the ranking entity, criteria on which the ranking is based, the fact that performance data in the past is not indicative of future results, and when the ranking is based on total return, it must include rankings based upon total return for 1, 5, and 10 years, or since inception of the fund if shorter. So the rules of FINRA must be followed. FINRA's rules related to research reports include all of the following except. So always reword your except questions. FINRA's rules related to research reports do not include which of the following. Research reports must disclose when, within the last 12 months, that firm has received any fees from investment banking services from the company that is the subject of the report. Analysts must disclose whether they or any member of their household have a financial interest in the subject security. Analysts' compensation must not be tied to the firm's investment banking revenues. Firms are not required to disclose their proprietary rating systems. So which of these is not required? Firms are not required to disclose their proprietary rating systems is the correct answer. In fact, firms are required to disclose their rating systems. The rest of those are all required to be included as it relates to rules related to research reports. All of the following would be allowed in a generic advertisement except. So what is not allowed in a generic advertisement? An explanation of the various types of investment companies, a description of the exchange and reinvestment privileges, information about the securities investments offered by the firm, or reference to a specific security. So what is not allowed in a generic advertisement? Reference to a specific security. Securities purchased in a Regulation D offering are restricted stock. The issuer is a reporting issuer. These shares must be held for 6 months. So Regulation D is the sale of unregistered non-exempt securities. These shares are not freely saleable. So if you buy shares in a private placement under Regulation D, and the issuer does report some information to the SEC, you cannot sell those shares for 6 months from when you purchase them. If it's a non-reporting issuer, then it's longer. It's a 12-month holding period. When a broker-dealer sells securities in a retail banking establishment, the rules must be followed. Let's check our choices here. There are no special rules. False. The securities business must take place in an area separate from where the retail deposits are taken. I like that. So there's an office down the hall. It's not the same place you deposit your paycheck. Who goes into a bank anymore? Nobody I know. Some people do, I guess. Sales may be made at the same location as retail deposits are taken. That is false. This would require advanced FINRA approval. False. So the correct answer here, the securities business must take place in an area separate from where the retail deposits are taken. We don't want the client to be confused and think that the FDIC coverage extends to securities purchased at a bank, because it does not, of course. Which of the following is a prohibited transaction during the cooling off period? So the cooling off period is the period of time from when a registration statement is filed until when it is cleared for sale. Publication of a tombstone would be allowed. Offer of securities for sale during the cooling off period? Never. Let's check all 4 choices. Distribution of a red herring? Yes, that will be allowed. That is a preliminary prospectus. Gathering of indications of interest would be okay as well, but no offering of the security for sale until it is cleared for sale. A program disclosure document is given to investors when they are purchasing a, choices are new issue, 529 plan, shelf registration, or private placement. So when someone's buying a new issue, I'm going to assume that it is a non-exempt security and must be registered. They would get a prospectus, a summary of the registration statement. But that's not what this question is giving out. It's giving out a program disclosure document. It is the municipal securities rules that require when a 529 plan is sold. Remember, municipal securities are exempt securities and 529 plans are considered municipal securities. So there is no prospectus to be given out. There is no registration statement that is filed. But what you must give out instead is this program disclosure document whenever an investor is purchasing a 529 plan. When selling new issue municipal securities, the client must be given a prospectus. No, we just talked about that. Offering circular, called an official statement, jobs flyer, or red herring. It is not a prospectus. There is no such thing as a jobs flyer. Red herring is a preliminary prospectus. That leaves us with the offering circular or official statement. So when it's a 529 plan, it's a program disclosure document. When it's simply a municipal security, then it is an official statement. Both of them are very similar to a prospectus that must be given out whenever you sell a new issue. Which properly describes the role of a syndicate desk when a firm is involved in underwriting a new issue? It is responsible for due diligence. It files all the appropriate registration papers at the federal level. It is tasked with building an order book and allocating the issue. It solicits interest from potential investors. The role of the syndicate desk is to build an order book and allocate the issue. Which of the following is false regarding retail communications and correspondence? Firms are prohibited from using the FINRA logo. That is true. FINRA's advertising department must approve all advertising prior to use. That would be a big job. That is false. Let's check the other 2. Most advertisements are included within the definition of retail communications. That's true. Blind recruitment advertising does not have to include the firm's name, thus it's called blind. That is also true. So FINRA's advertising department does not approve all advertising prior to use. In order to sell a new issue in more than one state, which of the following is correct? A registration statement must be filed with the state administrator. A registration statement must be filed with the SEC and with the state securities administrators. I like that. Let's see. A registration statement must be filed with the SEC, or a registration statement must be filed with FINRA. No, it's never filed with FINRA. So it's either filed with the state, that'd be registration by qualification when it's going to be sold in one state only, but that's not this question. This says in more than one state. So we have dual registration, where the registration statements are filed with the SEC, so federally, and then in whatever state the offering is going to be made in. So in one or more states, so with the state securities administrators. Communications involving variable contracts can include representations that these are short-term liquid investments. Variable contracts? No way. Guarantees as to rate of return. Variable contracts? No way. Reference to the separate account as a mutual fund. Or hypothetical illustrations of up to 12%, provided a 0% illustration is also provided. That is the answer that is allowed. So 12% is pretty darn high. It can only use that 12% if they also show a 0% rate of return. That's it for this week's Questions of the Week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn those notifications on. If you'd like to check out PassMasters course offerings or to enroll in any of our programs, there is a link found in this video's description. If you have any questions at all related to this video or to these exams, you can ask me in the comments below. Keep up the good work. I hope to have you as a student soon. Happy studies.
You got this.